Hey everybody! I don't know why my webcam didn't pop up, but it is Miss Saltstein. You'll have to trust me. And so what I wanted to talk to you about are some things about fractions that you might need review on before you start this lesson. So if you had a problem like this, I'm right up here. Multiply negative 1/4 by 11 over 100. The first thing I want you to think about is, will the answer be a positive number or will it be a negative number? Okay, so just think about that so we can get it out of the way. It's a negative times a positive, so it's going to be negative. The reason I thought about that first is that now I can go ahead and multiply the fractions and not worry about the positives or negatives, and then just put a negative on in the end. That'll get it kind of out of the way while I deal with some pretty gnarly fractions. Okay. To multiply fractions, here's what I attached to this lesson. You can get this multiplying and dividing fractions cheat sheet. It says to multiply fractions, we multiply the numbers together, the numerators together, and multiply the denominators together. And what I say here is that we're going to multiply straight across. Okay? Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Okay? But if you look at what I have here, I can't go straight across because I've got the whole number 1. 1 and 1/4. Okay, what do I do with that? Do I multiply it across the top or across the bottom? Obviously it's a 1, so it doesn't really matter, but it could be a 2 or a 10 or something like that. So what I actually want to do here is convert it from a mixed number to an improper fraction. Okay. And this chart is also connected to the lesson if you want to look at it. Okay. And so what you'll see on here is that the way to do it is to multiply the whole number times the denominator and then add the numerator. Okay. The reason we do that, I mean, picture 2 3/4 pizzas. If we want to know how many slices we have all together, well, we're going to cut up those 2 whole pizzas. Okay, maybe they have 4 pieces each because we're eating like ginormous slices of pizza for some reason. Okay, but those 2 whole pizzas are going to give us 8 slices, and then we still have the 3 slices that were in the 3/4. Okay, so this part here is the whole number that we're cutting up to be the same size as the fraction. Okay, so we add those together, that becomes our numerator, and our denominator stays the same because remember the denominator is how we cut the pizza. And we didn't change how we cut it. We cut all the pizzas the same way. Okay, all the pieces are the size 1/4. So let me do that over here back to our problem that we're doing. 1 and 1/4, I'm going to multiply 1 times 4, then I'm going to add 1. Okay, so 1 times 4, I'll do that first. That's why they put this in parentheses. And then I'll add 1. It will still be over 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Now I have 5/4. Okay. I still need to multiply by 11 over 100. Okay. Now I'm going to do something that you may or may not have seen before. That's actually pretty important. It's pretty important to know how to do this. And it is called cross-canceling. Okay. Basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to simplify or reduce before I multiply. Okay. Because we're eventually going to multiply straight across, I can actually simplify or reduce this 5 and this 100. Okay. Because after we multiply straight across, we would have 5 times 11 over 4 times 100, but 4 times 100 is the same as 100 times 4. Okay. So I could just write it like this. and then simplify this part of the fraction. Okay, so that's why I'm allowed to do what I'm about to do. Okay, but let me erase that because this simplifying before you multiply is actually a shortcut. And it makes it a lot nicer after we're done multiplying. We won't have to really reduce it that much or at all. So basically, I'm going to divide these both by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So now my fraction is 1/4. 100 divided by 5, oh, I think it's 20. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Okay, so 100 divided by 5 is 20. Now when I multiply straight across, I get 11 on the numerator because it's 1 times 11. Let me actually show that work. 1 times 11 over 4 times 20. Okay. Final answer, 11/80ths. But don't forget, we decided this was going to be negative. So I'm going to make my final answer negative 11/80ths. All right, so that's multiplying a negative mixed number times a positive fraction. Okay, let's look at the next problem. This one says multiply 4/9 by -3. For this one, 3 is a whole number, and I'm going to turn it into a fraction by just putting it over 1. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite the -3 as -3 over 1. No big deal. So now I have 4 over 9 times 3 over 1. And you guys, I'm already thinking my answer is going to equal a negative, okay? Because this is a positive times a negative. So that way I don't have to write the negative in front of the 3. It just keeps it out of the way, keeps things simple. And now what I can do here is cross cancel, okay? Look at the 9 and the 3. Okay, they have a common factor of 3. So I can divide these both by 3. Okay, 3 divided by 3 is going to equal 1. Okay, 9 divided by 3 is going to equal 3. And now when I multiply straight across, I have 4 times 1 over 3 times 1. Okay. Remember, the answer is going to be negative, so I have -4/3. Now, if I look at the directions, it says write the answer as a mixed number. I don't have that. I have an improper fraction. So now I'm going to look at this chart, which I also attached to the lesson you can look at. It says if we have an improper fraction like 7/3, what we're going to do is divide. Numerator divided by the denominator. Okay, this they got by doing 7 divided by 3. Okay, once we do that, the dividend up here is the whole number. The 1 down here, the remainder 1, is the numerator. And then the denominator stays the same. It's still 3. I'm just going to put den for denominator. All right, so that gives us 2 1/3. I'm going to do the same thing here. So 4 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 one time. Remainder is 1. Okay, remember the dividend is the whole number. The remainder is the numerator. And the denominator stays the same. So final answer here is going to be -1 1/3. And that's that one. Okay. That was from your practice, item 2. Okay, onward. This last one here is also from your practice, and it also has a mixed number. Okay, it says to multiply, and we're not going to be able to multiply if we have a mixed number. We're going to have to convert that to an improper fraction. So 1 and 1/4. Remember that to do that, that's like having one whole pizza and a fourth of a pizza. And we want to know just how many pieces do we have. Okay, they're still going to be cut into fourths. We're going to cut up that whole pizza into 4 pieces by multiplying. Then we're going to add that one piece that we already had cut. Okay, so the numerator will be 4 times 1 plus 1, also known as 5. They ask me here to multiply by 2/3. These don't have any negatives, okay? And I'm looking here for opportunities to cross cancel, and I do see one. Look at the 4 and the 2. I can divide those both by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. I'm going to multiply straight across. 5 times 1 over 2 times 3. My final answer is going to be 5/6. It is in simplest form already because I did that cross-canceling. So that's exciting. It is a shortcut. Try to get used to using it because it actually is important later in algebra. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. Good luck.